Okay, guys, so check this out. Look what I got in the mail. Pretty neat, huh? And hey, guess who's coming to visit us? Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Annabelle. Annabelle. Hello, Annabelle. Want to say hi? Come here, say hi. Come say hi to the people on the camera. Hi. This is Annabelle. She comes up here and visits me when I do videos. and sometimes I'll be doing a perfect video, and I'll hear her meowing when she walks up, and she'll just come right up and say hello. And it's pretty amazing, you know, if we got rid of the clutter, made a brand new top for the toolbox. Amazing how the cat's got a place to come visit and hang out now and get their cuddles. There's Annabelle. Say hi. Come here, say hi. I'm gonna put you in front of the camera. Say hi. Say hi. Thought about getting her on a brushing routine. She sheds a lot. It's a winter. She's getting her winter coat, so it's all coming off now. Okay, so let's see if I can start the video. Will she stick around? Will she not? I think she's gonna stick around, but anyway. So anyway, I don't know. I see these things all over the internet, whatever, these types of boxes. One I see the most common, it seems to be, Pelican might be the gold standard in this sort of container. A lot of people are buying Harbor Freight. And I just saw this thing and gave it a try. And I don't know if I'm kind of going to be, you know, so far I'm liking it. It's doing the job. And what it was, I'm going to tell you what I planned on doing here. I bought this thing here, and my goal was to fill this container up with folding knives. Okay, and I went ahead and I got I went ahead and I got some plans to do some folding knives. I got one knife that I'm reblading, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. And 14. So I don't know if I'll actually get to 14 in this case, which wasn't bad, because let's say I even got to 10 folding knives. That's a lot. That's a good hunk of work, you know, to be doing folding knives, especially when I'm cutting the liner channels myself, and you know, and not having to push a button to have it pushed. I mean, I'm be grinding all these myself. That's quite a few hours tied up, and then I think I can take a while to fill this box up. I might be able to get like 10 in here as of right now. But I'll go ahead and I'll show you what I got going on over here. I'll be right back 1 second. So this is the deal here. It seems like I can't help but not mention him every video that I make. I can't not mention Jim Rohn. You know, I mean, Jim Rohn, like I said in the last video, he's so awesome. Like I think I said, like a meteor could come hit the planet, split the planet in half, and like I could be on the side that's barely alive, if any sides are alive at all at that point. And I can find an old recording of Jim Rohn somewhere, and I can listen to Jim Rohn. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to, you know, it's like, wow, look around and the sky's red, and there's a massive, you know, molten gash a few miles away from my place where the meteor hit. And listen to Jim Rohn. I'm like ready to go out and sell, you know, $1 million of life insurance policies that day. I mean, I'm ready to go hit the road and do some great things. And Jim Rohn has this exercise where a person will write down everything, you know, like all their goals. They write down all the goals and all the stuff, and then they'll number the order of the goals. But before the exercise starts, they're allowed to be giving themselves up to, I think, like 5 goals that they already did. That way it kind of primes the pump of sorts. It's not like, oh, I got all these goals. I got these goals. These long-term goals are numbered, I think, like in 5, and the short terms are 1. And in other words, 1 to 5 years. You know, 1 being a more simpler goal that, you know, like, oh, get my passport. That's a 1. Or go get a business license. That's like a 1. But say maybe go to Japan might be a 3 or a 2. You know, like do something major, like graduate college might be a 5, you know, long term, or make $1 million might be a 5. So But before they get started on the exercise, he says, give yourself, like, I think you had like three, biting my fingers, Annabelle. You got 3 to 5, or I think it's like 3 to 5 goals that you already attained, or how many, I think it's like, I forgot how many, if there's any at all, but just name some goals that you already attained. And I thought to myself, well, you know, I graduated the police academy years ago. I worked 21 years at a job. I wasn't ever in law enforcement, by the way, just so you know. I worked 21 years at a job, and I did, you know, I listed a few things off that I did, you know, and just to kind of like prime the pump of sorts, so they'll seem so overwhelmed, because like, well, if I did that, I can do these. That's the whole premise behind that, and I just kind of give myself some credit for before I get started of some things I may have already done, even though they were done quite a long time ago. But anyway, I decided to go on this massive tirade and fill a case up full of knives, like 8 to 10 folding knives, basically folding knives. You know, not, I can make, you know, fixed blade knives all day long. It's not a problem. But folders, Annabelle, folders, you know, they're a little more complex. And so I decided to go ahead and have a goal where I have a case. And this is like my list, you know, my list of goals. So, of course, the first, you know, like the exercise that Jim Rohn had put forth in his materials, I'm going ahead and I'm basically putting out 3 goals that I already completed. And these are the goals here. This is one of the goals. This is a folder that I did back in 2006, and it's G10 titanium ATS-34 steel. And it's really good. I carried it at work quite a bit. It's a piece of steel I've made for the clip. The hardware is from a local hardware store. The pin is from, I think, Texas Knife Makers or at the time. And this is from a hardware store. And I tapped these into the back. There's a lot of Alan Elishewitz, I guess would you call influence in the handle design. I think I was really a fan of the Aries and the 910 Striker. I had a lot of Benchmades. I still have those Benchmades, and maybe I just thought it was kind of a cool blade, and I realized, hey, that's like something Alan Elishewitz would make. Maybe it was just kind of something that flowed through my fingers, and I realized that better be more aware of what I grind and make sure that it's my own original work. So that's going to go into the case. I have one here that I'm reblading. Now, this was actually, I'll show you, this is the blade I'm working on. It's a piece of D2. Now, don't brush up against that, it's pointy. It's a piece of D2, and it's like kind of like a Bowie. And what it is, I put a fuller on the top, and the fuller is going to be like the thumb stud. I didn't want a thumb stud this time around, but this is the original blade. Now, the original blade was much larger, but I think I decided to get too into the rigmarole of the making YouTube knife videos, and I decided to go ahead and I use this as a box cutter in a retail environment for like a year, and I think I was just so into my ego that I just had to prove that I can heat treat. And then really, quite frankly, it was D2. This is also D2. The other one is like 3/16 of an inch thick. This is about an 1/8 inch thick, and it was actually it was actually a really a larger size blade, and it was shiny at one time. I bead blasted it. I went ahead and put the BK on there with an etcher, and so this is considered a prior success. I carried this. This is the liner, everything for it. I carry this for like a year, maybe a little longer than a year, just to see if something I made can stand up to an everyday carry as a sole exclusive everyday carry without having to switch to anything else. And finally I retired it. But I did enough sharpening to it to where I kind of wore down that edge. It was a lot more meat down here. I was using a work sharp and I was kind of maybe grinding a little too much or sharpening too frequently. And I think what it was is that it held the edge. It's still holding the edge. But I mean, I would go and do I would cut can sleeves. I would go ahead and actually go into the baler and poke holes with a baler occasionally. I would catch it at a wrong angle, and I would actually like just literally cut a steel beam with the edge, and it would still be sharp. But I wanted to like have that paper cutting sharp, just because I wanted to give progress reports on YouTube and just kind of prove to the community what a knife maker I was. So I just kept making progress reports on this knife and showing it and carrying it and basically saying, yeah, I carried this for a whole year. And I was just like so into my head on a lot of this stuff. I think was so into my ego. And so now, I'll carry something and I'll put it back in the case, and carry something else, not because I have something to prove, but because it gives me the pleasure of carrying something I made. This was kind of maybe more to prove to myself than anything else. It was just kind of a poor attitude toward it, and I just wanted to, like, this is what I made, and this is, the world, this is what I want to show the world, and I think now I make stuff more just for my own personal fulfillment, rather than, trying to show people up how good I was, or how I can keep up, or so anyway. I'm going to be reblading this, and this is going to go into the case as a prior success. Kind of like, the Jim Rohn list when he would say, name some of your prior successes. This is going to be a prior success. So let's set this over here so Annabelle doesn't knock it off. And so I'm going to move this over here, Annabelle, okay? So I'm going to open this. I'm going to open this up. There's fur everywhere. So I'm going to just show you real quick. I'm kind of hoarding over this because I don't want Annabelle crawling all over it. But I went ahead now and I prepared another one of my third success. This would have been too big to put in here. It would have stuck out like that. So anyways, this is actually a friction folder. And this friction folder just had this pathetic little piece of... the cool thing about this box is it has the little cubes that I can go in and remove the cubes, and take those out and make little slots for the knives. Like I said, like the cool kids all have these cases, and they have like, I don't know if they're buying overseas produced knives from China. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're all like $700 to $1,000 folders. I'd like to find a job, making the money that they're making to buy a collection like that, plus buy a house, plus pay for a couple of cars and keep a roof over a wife's head. I mean, I'd really like to know how they do that, but I don't think they're gonna tell me anyway. So I just stay in my lane. Well, anyway, over here, this is a friction folder. Now I'm gonna pull this out and show you guys. I was just sitting there literally just now, and I bought a couple of these little clip-on latches. Come here. Okay, and so the clip-on latches are a lot, I don't know, they're not, I never owned a tech lock. I was trying to do tech locks, but just burning the candle at both ends is just one of those things I never got into it. I was launching ugly. I was just making stuff, and I thought, well, is my sheath tech lock compatible? My sheath paracord compatible? And I used to have a paracord piece of woven in here, and I would actually literally carry this knife on my waist with a piece of paracord holding it on. And this knife here, I couldn't say I carried it for a solid year, but I pretty much always had it on me, about maybe more often than not, and I was maybe using other knives while I carried it on my person. I was also using this quite a bit too. Now this is actually made from 440C. But anyways, I was able to get the first two to jive with the actual hole placement, and I got that on there. Now I might actually go in here and put some spacers up, bring maybe like a special fitted piece of Kydex over here, screw that into there, with the Kydex while running spacers here, or maybe bring spacers up here to give it some leeway. Add Kydex here. Add the Kydex with the eyelets here coming out over here, and then just go eyelet to eyelet and screw to a hole here, and then while offsetting some of that, making that possible with some spacers here in the middle. So I might just do that. But so far, I don't think anything's going to come of it. It's holding pretty well. I mean, I would carry it probably, under a shirt or something. I mean, the cool thing about this is, for the most part, see, it's not going to fall out, or unless if I really shake my wrist and try, it might fall out. But what I did with this thing was I didn't have enough green. The green one on the retail version that I made and sold to a friend, the other red one was a lot higher, and the other sheaths were a lot higher. This was kind of my first one, and so I'll go ahead and open it up and show you what I did. I screwed it. I made a little divot with a ball, with one of these. I don't know if I got one handy. I'm not going to grab it, but on the drill press. And then when I went ahead, I started with some eyelets, made that, and then went ahead and put it in the Kydex press. And I put a little marble right there. Ran the Kydex press down on there. Let it thermoform as long as I could. And I got a nice thermoform on that. I mean, that's a tight thermoform, and it just comes out like this and snaps right back in real positive. And I just never want to get this thing hot again. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I could repeat those results. And I put a piece of G10 on the bottom to give it that flatness. So that's kind of why I was able to really thermoform that. And it's pretty well worn. It has a nice sheen to it. And so into the knife itself, it's been pretty good. The newer versions that I made for retail, the 2 or 3 that I made for retail, these have no washers in them. This is actually Blade 2 G10 material. It's a Warncliffe style blade. I've only actually applied an edge on this with a work sharp one time and just touched it up, but still moderately used it. Never actually had to retouch an edge. I really don't ever want to retouch an edge. I just try to keep it on a stone now. But but over here on the retail version, it's actually G10 to flat. Doesn't really leave any marks from opening and closing it, but it's G10 to flat. And on the retail version, I went ahead and I took the fork tip and I'd actually ground grooves in and ground this down. So instead of using washers, I just removed material from the inside of the grip and allowed the grip to tighten around the blade. And then by letting off material here, I left a gap to the left and the right of the blade. And what I also did too is I put a fork tip in here, and so it has a more refined, rounded portion in here. And then I deburred the sides of it. So it actually has a lot more sophisticated look when you actually look down into the blade. It's not as crude as this one. And talking to I know one of the guys that still lives nearby, I kind of thought, well, how will I adjust this when it goes bad? I'll probably peen this down. I don't know what to do. So far, this one or the one that's still being carried till this day has ever needed a peening. And in fact, I went to where his place of work was and ran into him. He's still carrying it. He still had it on his hip. He was still running around with it on his hip, carrying it every day. And that was pretty cool to see a knife. I made these back in 2013. I mean, they're 10 years old, and they're still in service. And I went ahead and I used some JB Weld on the center of that spine there. I calipered the blade, calipered the actual piece here, and that's how I made theirs also. In fact, this one here, when I went ahead and shaped it, it slipped out of my hand. It fell and hit the ground. It sounded like a mono piece of it sounded like it was actually made from one piece of plastic. It didn't sound like multiple pieces. It's actually pretty almost seamless. You can see a seam there, but it's almost seamless. It looks like it could be. If I put some more, I think I put some green dye in there or whatever. Maybe if I got a little more perfect, it would look seamless. But I mean, it's pretty darn close. But anyway, that is one of my successes for the case, and I'm glad. I thought, hey, I got an extra one of these little snap-on loops. I'm putting it on there because this thing needs its own loop, and I'm tired of looking at that sad paracord. So it's gonna go here. I'm watching the camera to put this on now. Okay. So now what's needed is I need to put this one in here. So I'm thinking about putting it. I kind of like the way that sits, and I want to give it plenty of wall. Let's see. Maybe I might just go below it. No, because I got to go around it anyway. Worst comes to worst, I'll buy a new piece, a new thing. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and taking the thing away. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. Now, Annabelle, I need to. Can you please? Thank you. All right, thanks. She pulled up a spot on the case. That's yours now. You like that? Give you your little spot out here for the winter. You got a little bed. Okay, now I'm holding you here because I don't want you getting in the way of the knife. Okay. All right, so here's that. I think six will work. Will 6 or 3 work? That's 3. 6 will work. Okay, so I'm gonna pull these out. No. I want you on this one. I'm sorry. I gotta draw the line. So these will come out now. These are already broken, so that's kind of nice. Okay, I just need to put you just 1 second, okay? Okay, just 1 second. I mean, I personally don't care about cat hair in my knife collection, so it's not bothering me. It bothers some of you guys out there, but no. Okay, come over here. Okay. You know, like, why don't I just put the cat outside? And it's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to put the cat outside. I like having her here. Okay, I put this away over here now. Put this back in here. I'll just take this out with my hand. Okay. Okay, here we go. And this comes out here. Yes. Okay. I think Morris used to come up here. I think now you're the. There's another piece. Now there's another piece of foam down in there, which is nice. It doesn't bottom out to the plastic. Okay, got a little cat hair in here. No big deal. Okay, so that's probably where it's going to sit, just like that. Now let's see if I can close it. Get a little bit of pressure. Okay, a little bit of pressure when I close it, but so when I close it, it does allow it to close. So okay, I'm cool with that. So basically, I'm thinking 3.5-inch blades. Let's see, what is this? That larger one that I showed you, it'll probably have to be laid sideways like the friction folder. It's going to be slightly larger, I think. I'll just grab the liner to show you. So take this out, the liner goes in. Okay, so hold on, I'm just going to close this a minute. So I can feel more pressure going down on it. It'll still close. Okay. Okay. So anyway, yeah, get the little hairs off and then close this up. So yeah, it's fitting pretty good. Maybe I could have gone with only one and stretched it, but it's holding in there pretty good. So not bad. So you know, it's I mean, I paid quite a bit for it. So for my opinion, but it's still I was still on the lesser end of some other containers I found online. Forgot what I paid for it, but Lykus, that's what it's called, Lykus. And so I think it's going to be pretty good. It's got a nice lock system. It's real solid. In situations like this, I mean, at least when I'm not making videos, it'll keep the dust and the cat hair off of knives and I store in my room. You know, and I guess this is the new cat. This is the new cat bed. Now I'll probably put something in there. Not now. I got 2 others in there I can put stuff in. But she seems to like that. Oh my God, look at that. You're shedding, girl. I need to come out and get you a brush. Maybe I'll do a demo on a kitty cat brush. Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah. How do I usually end this? Of course, is don't let haters worry about your knife collection, and don't let haters hate on your American short hair, also known as American short hairs. Are actually, let me sit you down here. Let me back the camera up a bit. Yeah, here you are. See, American short hairs. Come here. Can you see that? See, there you go. See, American short hairs are actually known as alley cats. That's actually the term for alley cat. And American short hairs. A lot of people don't know this, but during the gold rush, I'm trying to feature you now, Annabelle, okay? American Shorthairs actually were sought after by the prospectors and the miners in California. And, the prices were really inflated in the mining days. And miners used to actually pay a lot of money for the American Shorthairs because of they actually still to this day are one of the most effective mousers you can have. I guess it's like 2 out of 3 swipes they actually make a kill. I forgot what the ratio was on these things. It's not sure it's online, but yeah, and I guess American Shorthairs are used to be kind of popular in memes and stuff. But that's what are called alley cats. So you heard the term alley cat? It's actually an American Shorthair. And her sister is an American Shorthair. She's an American Shorthair, and from the same litter we got a tortoiseshell. We got a tortoiseshell. The tortoiseshell is an inside cat. Tortoiseshells are. I've always seen tortoiseshells to be smaller, so she's a bit more of an inside cat. I've never seen a huge tortoiseshell. I've seen a few big-haired tortoiseshells, but these two American Shorthairs. This is her garage, not mine. So I want you to say bye, okay? So say goodbye. Say goodbye, Annabelle. Say Annabelle. Says don't let anybody hate on your American Shorthair or your hard case. Don't worry about the haters. Just let the haters worry about you, okay? See you on the next one. All right, bye.